The 2025 US Open 9-ball final, Fedor Gorst versus Aloysius Yapp. Watch it once and you will see two world-class players grinding it out. Watch it again with the right lens and you will see something most of us amateurs get completely wrong about playing percentages. We think about it as playing the highest percentage shot in every scenario, but that's a pretty one-dimensional way of thinking about it. Because sometimes playing percentages is about the pattern or the layout, the conditions, or how you're feeling in the moment. And sometimes it's the difference between going for a hero shot or taking your medicine and spreading the difficulty out across the rest of the rack. Confused yet? Let me show you. You guys, look, playing percentages is a lot more nuanced than most of us realize. Before we get into this match with Federer and Yapp, there are 4 elements to keep in mind about playing percentages. One is execution. Guys, playing percentages can get really granular, like choosing the highest percentage way to strike the cue ball is just as important as other elements like choosing the right shot or strategy and all the other things that we'll get into. Cue speed, where your tip goes, the kind of contact you're making. These are varying levels of difficulty that you're trying to balance when you're choosing the right shot. 2, let's zoom out a little bit further and just talk about making the ball. This is what I think most amateurs are referring to when they're talking about playing percentages. It's like what pattern to play in playing 8-ball or picking the ball that gives us the highest percentage just to make the shot. Yes, that's part of it, but there are so many more layers. Because 3 is if you zoom out a little bit more, you get into playing percentages for running out. This is not just about making the ball in front of you. Sometimes it means playing the lower percentage shot so that you can have a higher chance of running out later. And then 4, getting to this 30,000 foot view now, game strategy. It spans the whole game, you guys. Playing percentages is about knowing when to play safe versus knowing when to go for it, when to cinch a ball, when to let the cue ball loose, and understanding what to prioritize for your game. That is playing percentages. This aspect of pool permeates every choice that we make at the table, and the numbers just look different for everyone else. So ironically, for the rest of this video, I'm going to refrain from calling out actual numbers, and I'm just going to talk about making optimal choices. So let's get into this match where we can see these choices in action. This is the first scenario we have. Again, this is from the US Open 9-ball championship. This is last year, 2025. It was a grueling, like grindy match for both players. And I think I'm going to reveal a little bit of why that was. Fedor Gorst is up and he is jacked up over this 9-ball. By the way, check out how this man can just stretch over this 9-ball past the middle of the table. Being tall is an advantage in pool. I will go to my grave saying that. Fight me on it. So he chooses to roll this ball forward.
He got a lot out of that.
He did get a lot out of that, but he does still have to take a long 8. And this is a classic example of taking your medicine. The highest percentage chance of running out the rest of the rack may include taking an easier shot now and a tougher shot later. If he wanted to, he could have tried to punch this ball with like a stunning high right? Sort of like stun run through, really pound the ball. Let the pop of the cue ball roll the cue ball forward. Very difficult shot. I think I nailed it once. There it is. You guys, this is a tough shot. No wonder why Federer is a world champion, because he just knows instinctively when to just split the difficulty amongst the rack. Going for the hero shot can work, but a lot of times you got to learn to split your difficulty. So let's take a look at this next scenario.
You can lock him up behind the 8.
You can lock him up behind the 8.
I think it definitely plays to the upper left.
Is he ripping it?
So what Carl means by is he ripping it? 4-ball is here. He's saying to draw the cue ball out this direction behind the 8. And then that way from this area, you could just, you know, play the 6 into the corner, go off the rail for a shot on the 7, 8, 9 tic-tac-toe out. And he could have chosen to do that. What does he choose to do instead? Take a look.
Is he ripping it?
Yeah, and that's where I feel like the natural line is, right? You can put a little running English on it.
Before this, I think they were saying that the 6-ball does go in the upper left-hand corner. You can see it there. He chooses to Weld
Federer
him
does
to
it
the
all
8
time, though,
instead.
right? He plays the percentages and maybe a little.
Plays the
bad game there
percentages.
with-
You guys, they're saying
we
it on
just never
commentary.
know.
In a
This
way,
is the right way to
he's not
play
really done.
strategy.
He's missed it. So
Make your opponent
the
earn it
25-year-old
when you are not
uses his
positive if
experience,
you are going to get there.
plays the percentage game. Yeah, referencing.
Okay, so this is our next example. I'm trying to burn through these pretty quickly here. From here on out, we're going to see a little bit different shot choices. Aloysius decides to draw this cue ball.
Indecisive in the end.
Aloysius decides to try to draw his cue ball out to the side rail with spin and then back out this way. You know, Carl says this, he doesn't really buy into what he's doing. He kind of hits it a in-between pace. It's an in-between shot. He hits it an in-between way. That is a recipe for disaster. I'm not saying I'm better than Yapp, but I am saying he didn't hit it fully committed to the shot that he chose. The cue ball doesn't actually travel as far as he would want it, and he hits it thin. Look, thin to the pocket, which means that the cue ball has more speed than it would have if he had made the ball, and yet the cue ball still only goes not even to the second rail. Cue ball would have been, if he had made the shot, cue ball would have been out here, right? Maybe he would have hit higher up on this long rail over here instead of down here. So maybe the cue ball would have been higher, but the cue ball would have also been, you know, had a lot less energy. So he would have been stuck no matter if he made the ball or not. That's why I think Carl is saying he didn't commit to the shot that he chose. So that is one thing. You got to learn to commit to the shot that you choose, but also, was this even the right shot? Now, for some people, totally, absolutely, I think it's the right shot. For Yapp, certainly it can be the right shot because he can handle this shot a lot more than I can. But what are the other options here? Option one, you could just high inside, right? Choose to go around the table, but then the speed's a little wonky. It's a very difficult shot to aim. High inside three railer is like easily, hands down, for me, one of the hardest shots to shoot, especially under pressure. So he's managing the difference between doing that versus zigzagging the cue ball with draw, which is easier to make the 6 ball. Now he still missed, but that doesn't mean that he chose the wrong shot. By the way, this is what he was trying to do, just zigzag the cue ball. The other option is to simply cinch the ball, right? He could have just taken the cut on the 7 and just play a thin 7 and run out, splitting the difficulty between the 7 and the 8 by cinching the 6 ball, making sure that you at least make the ball and have some sort of angle on the 7. This idea comes up over and over when playing percentages, especially in 9 ball, when you don't really have a choice what ball you're shooting at. Moving on, let's take a look at this layout real quick. The 4 ball is down here, or the 5 ball, purple 5. Guys, killing me. I think he's trying to stun the cue ball, stun draw the cue ball down in between the 6 and the 9, but he ends up drawing it too much. Take a look.
You wouldn't try to maybe just get by this side pocket back here where he's standing and take the cut? He's really good at managing this kind of situation.
Pay attention to those words.
Oh, he's stunned. This is really gambling.
Really gambling.
That's what I felt like. And now,
So anytime you're stun or stun drawing, getting that perfect Q-tip position is super difficult. Did he get to the 5 ball? Yes. Does he also run out from here? I mean, yeah, also, yes, he runs out from here. But take a look at what Jeremy Jones says.
Side pocket back here where he's standing and take the cut. He's really good at
Get the cue ball by the side pocket and take the cut. He's talking about drawing the cue ball out towards maybe this diamond and then down table and taking the cut on the 5 here and then just bringing the cue ball back up table for the 6. This is what taking your medicine looks like. He tries to get the most out of the cue ball with a shallow angle on the 3.
Kind of situation.
And it just is very difficult to do. So let's take a look at some of the options here. One of the options is you could have gone forward 2 rails. This guarantees that you get sort of in this zone. The issue is Now you have to really manage the speed. I don't know if the speed in that circumstance is very easy to handle. Getting in this zone right here, oof, after the cue ball travels 9 feet or something, that's tough. So one of the other ways to shoot it is just what Jeremy Jones suggested. Go back to the long rail, back to where you were shooting from, and just take the cut. Take the cut. You're at 840 Fargo, whatever it is. The guy can make the ball, right? It is not the most difficult out if you decide to take the cut. Split the difficulty amongst the rest of the rack, take your medicine, and play the percentage game across the entirety of the rack instead of just on one shot, trying to gamble on one shot. So for the record, yes, he does run out here. Let's watch him run out. It's glorious. He's beautiful.
Just kind of.
I got a crush on Yapp. This guy is so good. Ugh, maybe edit that out. Maybe not. Real quick, you guys. A lot of what I talk about on this channel, we go way deeper into with my coach, Demetrius Gelatis, on the Slate Billiard Club Patreon. It's 20 bucks a month. It's the best 20 bucks you'll ever spend on pool. Use code SENSEI to get 50% off of your first month. It is a growing community of pool players improving at a crazy fast rate. Trust me, try it out for 1 month. It is totally worth it. Links in the description or just scan the code. All right, back to it. Okay, in this scenario, he's very straight here. What Yapp decides to do is he tries to spin this cue ball around the 5, high inside 3-railer here. Let's take a look at what happens. You guys, under these conditions, polished balls, slick cloth,
Yeah, it's amazing.
high pressure environment.
On these types of shots, he really doesn't mind cheating the pocket, drawing the ball.
Oh, he's talking about drawing the ball. He doesn't do that.
Oh boy, big shot.
And the 5 anyway.
This is a rough shot. Okay, what he was talking about was drawing the ball. Aloysius is very good at cheating the pocket to where he makes the 3 ball in the right side of this pocket and draws the cue ball down this way, right? The reason you need to cheat the pocket is because otherwise the draw is bringing you straight back into the 8 or into the 4 or something like that. It's very difficult to manage, but he is of the skill level where he can manage it. So what he was trying to do is something like this. Even I, after trying this a few times, I'm running into the 5 ball very, very often. I think the reason he doesn't just use high ball there is because the 5 ball is huge and the side pocket is huge. If he uses the right spin, he can get underneath the 5 if he hits it right. It's a tall order. It's just very, very difficult to do. Both this and the next option, which would have been, oh, not this. This option, no one should try, which is just stunning to the rail unless you're shooting at absolute break speed. Drawing the ball is the option I'm talking about. It's difficult because you kind of have to stun draw it and cheat the angle, but you do have this entire field goal. You have this entire zone to sort of run your cue ball on this side, in the middle. So it's a relatively large zone if you're gonna draw the ball, especially at his level. I get it. I can't do that every time. Most amateurs can't do that every time. It's tough. But for Yapp, it might have been the better call. If he had to do it again, who knows what he would choose. Okay, this one is very, very interesting. Generally speaking, I think Fedor is one of the best players on the planet at playing percentages well. That means understanding the right cue ball maneuver, even for the right shot, right? He's going to be shooting the 7 no matter what, but the right cue ball maneuver to get him out most of the time. But what they talk about at this point in the match is how Fedor loves to draw the ball when given the opportunity. And in Fedor's mind, I'm sure he's like 95% chance to hit this ball perfectly and always get away with it. And then maybe 96% chance, just a little bit better, of going forward 2 rails or 1 rail or something. So to him, it's relatively the same, right? In Fedor's mind, drawing the ball was just as easy, and it guarantees him this sort of angle where he will always have an angle going into the 8 to either stun up or stun draw for the 9 or stun across for the 9 in this corner here. this corner here. Take a look at what happens. Again, new cloth, polished balls, smooth as silk stroke. What happens when these three things combine and you're trying to draw the ball?
Low outside. Wow, he overdrew
He
it.
overdrew it. Take a look at the cue ball though. Look at this.
What is this doing? It just
The cue ball rocks
Yeah,
back.
I think the rock back may have saved him. Watch the cue ball here right at the last.
Oh, that's crazy.
At the last.
That doesn't look very good, but that kind of saved him. It gives him a shot on the 8. So before we get to the shot on the 8, let's take a look at how this could have gone a little better. Take note, Federer's not wrong here, you guys. This is still a very high percentage chance for this guy to draw the cue ball back like that. The other option that you could choose is just use a high ball or maybe high outside ball. Not really sure exactly what the angle was, but these conditions I'm playing on here, brand new cloth, 4-inch pockets. These are the matchroom conditions. Maybe not the matchroom lights, maybe not the environment, but table conditions is as close as you can get for where I live. I mean, the line is very obvious. Just using a high, maybe twist of outside ball here, you're gonna go straight towards that 8 ball over and over and over. Those are 3 attempts with the same exact cue ball. The other way to shoot this that you could shoot over and over and over is a high right ball. As long as you cross that line, you make sure you're on the good side of the 8. All of these options are incredibly high percentage for Federer. Drawing the ball might not always be the right move, especially when you feel like you're gonna run out because of it. Because drawing the ball is, as much as we love to do it and see it, and even if it makes sense, drawing the ball is never gonna give you the most accurate cue ball in comparison to rolling the ball. Going forward or stunning the ball is always going to be a more accurate cue ball. So Federer here is now continuing his run. What does he choose to do?
Rock back might have had an impact.
He learns from his mistake and he just medium stuns this ball. So he has an angle to cross over to the other side of the table, to draw up the table if he wants, or to go 2 rails towards the 9 if he wants. There's lots of options here, but because of the distance, because the difficulty managing both pocketing and also the cue ball control, he chooses to take his medicine. He learns his lesson and goes, you know what? I'm just gonna deal with what I got. Of course, the other options outside of medium sweet stunning the ball is to draw it like that or to cross over the table, just like I said. I think I also do this again with more speed, crossing below the side pocket and getting straight in. Guys, there's multiple ways to do it, but I think Federer chose the right shot and it balances the run out, at least for him. A lot of these runouts, they might not work for you because you know your skills, you know your strengths and your weaknesses. So I can say this all I like about Federer's game or about my game and try to show what I would do. That doesn't mean it's going to be the same for you. Okay.
Out of the lower left here, Jay.
Crowd erupts. You guys look, he has another straight in. You guys notice how often these scenarios are coming about where the ball is long and straight in or straight-ish, right? And you're trying to manipulate the cue ball to do your bidding when the ball is straight. This is why Demetrius talks about having a move angle when you need to move the cue ball and a hold angle when you need to hold the cue ball. In those in-between shots where you feel like you can move the ball, but it requires a lot out of you on your execution, on the choice itself, and on the conditions and the environment, everything working against you anytime you're super straight like this and you're trying to move the cue ball. Listen to the commentary.
I don't think it was ever enough pace to get there, to be honest. That's why I thought just straight high, go ahead and put some speed, see what you can get out of the shot.
Okay, so what Jeremy is referring to there is just using a high ball, put some speed into it and see what happens with the cue ball. See what you can get out. There is a gap there between the 4 and the 6 to get this 3 ball. First, I'm going to show my attempts at trying to make this ball. Look what happens. I do the same exact thing that Federer does. I scratch. Why? Why do I scratch? Take a look at this. As you're trying to use high right English to hit this 2 ball, to send the cue ball 1, 2 rails and down table, when you use right spin, the cue ball is going to deflect to the left, right? So if this is the shot line or the pocket line from the 2 to the pocket, he is going to deflect the cue ball to his left over here. The cue ball is going to deflect this way. So Fedor instead aims to the other side of the ball and he overcompensates. Same as I do. I overcompensate and I end up getting the cue ball to go straight and hitting the 2 ball towards the wrong side. You guys, this is a really, really difficult shot. I eventually nail it, but oh man, it's no fun. Yeah, my face tells the story. What are the other options here? So this is what Jeremy Jones was saying. You could just use a high ball and use some speed, bend the cue ball a little bit and just let it go up table and see what you can get out of the shot. Here, I do believe I can cut the 3 at the end there, but man, that's rough no matter how you swing it. It's not too much easier than what Fedor chose to shoot. So really, if I was in Fedor's shoes, I might actually choose to go high ball with 2 rails, you know? The other option is also to try to stun run through this ball, but then you have to dig down in the cue ball. I think I hooked myself behind the 9 here. I do it again, nick the 7. I can see the 3 ball. So, you know, sort of good shot, but guys, that is so difficult to do. The question here becomes, why did Fedor not choose to play safe like he did earlier on in the match? He chooses something different here because he notices this. Take a look at how difficult it is to play safe here. No matter how you try to bank the 2 ball up or send the cue ball up, this angle where you have a line towards the pocket, this is a huge double kiss line. It's very easy to double kiss no matter how you hit this ball. So that is what Fedor is noticing. Look how often I'm double kissing. I've tried this safety over and over and over again. And over and over and over again, I get really, really tough double kisses. I managed to get away with one there by running the 2 ball into the 7 or by crossing it and getting lucky or spinning under the 2 ball here. You guys, this is a very, very difficult spot to be in. So the fact that Fedor chose to shoot the shot this way, honestly, I'm not mad at it. It's all low percentage shots. He just had to choose the lesser of evils, right? Might as well shoot the shot that might get him to run out instead of shoot an almost equally difficult shot, maybe run out, who knows? Let's move on. This is the last rack of the match. Yapp wins this, guys. Sorry to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. You guys go watch this match. Watch very carefully how Yapp chooses to play this last ball, not the 4 ball, the 5 ball. Purple 5, guys. I got to get that in my head.
Yeah, it sure is the first mistake. If you're going into the 9, I figured maybe just get through the cue ball a little bit.
Yeah, he's saying bump the 9 ball a little bit more to get him more coverage, or not coverage, comfortable shooting this 5 ball.
Yeah, he just wanted an inch or 2. Now he may have to come between the 7-9 and play from underneath.
Okay. Between the 7-9, play from underneath. I love Jeremy Jones. Love that man. Take a look at what Yapp does. I kind of agree with this choice, and you'll get to see why soon. So Jeremy is saying, you know, use a high inside ball to cross over the table here and then have a shot, you know, either at this corner or at this side pocket or something. The issue here is Yapp instantly realizes this. If he shoots with the cue ball somewhere, you know, in this zone, up table here, how does he get onto the 7 ball, right? It's very likely that the cue ball is still moving up table somewhere. It's not very easy to get back down for the 7, especially when you're on the hill for the US Open Championship title. Sorry. What does he choose to do instead? He simplifies, aims down at the cue ball, he freaking lets it rip, and he kind of gambles a little bit. Sounds kind of backwards from playing percentages, but in my mind, with a 30,000-foot view of this match and a 30,000-foot view of the moment and of this pattern, it kind of makes sense.
From underneath.
I think that's the safest route. You don't want to just try and jiggle this in, just come on.
Let's take a look. He shoots this 5 high ball, and he runs into the 9. Gets a little lucky with bump shape on the 8 ball, but he runs these out. And it's like instantly over, championship over. The reason this is important, you guys, is because from this position, you have to ask yourself, is it more important for the moment to just hit the ball well, or to try to dance and try to hit a really tricky, finicky shot. You know, maybe he gets left on the left rail or worse. So for him, knowing that he's going to go into 9-ball or into that direction on the table, just take what you got and work with it. He chose to gamble, and sometimes that is the highest percentage chance for him to win a championship. So it worked out for him. I don't know if that would work out for me. Am I good enough to make that work? I don't know. But again, play percentages for your game. Now, if you have made it this far, number one, congratulations. Thank you very much. If you have made it this far, do me a favor. Go to the comments section and type in ball banger. I know it sounds weird. I just want to see who the real ones are. Show yourselves. I will give you a thank you, a thumbs up, a heart, all the things, and we can chat about this. I did devise one last pattern, one last scenario here, specifically to challenge your ability to get out in this moment. So please go and try this and let me know how it goes. There are 3 options here that I see, offensive options. You can, in this pattern, send the cue ball to this side of the 9 and back up. Send the cue ball to this side of the 8, or maybe to this side of the 8 if you draw it super duper well. Or you can just hold the cue ball here and take a longer shot on the 8. I show all the examples here. You guys, bending the cue ball around this 9-ball is no joke. That was a lot of speed, stun run through that goes into that ball. I show you how easy it is to miss this ball. It's not easy. And this is a stun draw, you guys. To get this far over to the short side of the 8, this is a stun draw hit. If you guys want to hit it super sweet and super low, you can get something like that. But it's a very, very difficult hit. Probably the most difficult hit I've shown here. And this is a thinner hit on the 8 now that I have drawn up towards the 8. The straight draw takes you pretty much to the 8-ball. And so you're not really getting a better hit on the 8. You're getting a more thin cut on the 8 the more you draw the ball. This scenario has been designed to make it aggravating and difficult for you to get out. In the end, this is the way that I like to get out. I just like to simplify the run out, take my medicine, split the difficulty across the run, make a couple of, 5 or 6 out of 10 shots instead of 1, 7, or 8 out of 10 shot. I thought this would be a good way to end the video. I want to see what you guys think of this pattern and how you guys would get out. Please let me know. You guys, playing percentages is not just about shooting the easiest shot to make. It is about the shot choice for the moment you are in. Sometimes taking the hero shot is worth it. Sometimes you gotta take your medicine. Like and subscribe if this has helped, and please go check out the affiliate links. They support the channel at no cost to you, and in fact, most of the time, you're getting a deal. And again, drop your thoughts on that scenario at the end of the video. I would love to see you there. Happy shooting.